So I've got this brand new Delkron, new old stock Delkron, excuse the fingerprints that are all over it, this new Delkron inner primary to match up with my trans case, obviously. So the next step in the assembly of this transmission is to, I'll just put a photo here. I found this photo online and you can see the damage to the inner primary in this area where the chain has been contacting the inner primary surface behind the clutch. So Delkron made two inner primaries for the FXRs, 89 to 93 I believe it was. I'd have to have a look at that book that I just had and threw on the floor. 89 to 93 and then 94 onwards. And 94 onwards of course is for the different outer primary. The bolt holes are different and it's to suit the touring primary. So this is 89 to 93, which suits my bike fine. It'll fit that transmission and my outer primary will fit straight onto here. Things I need to do and check now. This has come installed with a primary chain tensioner, well half of it anyway, the inner half. A new inner primary bearing, a seal bearing, inner primary seal, and a starter bushing and starter seal. So what I want to do now is mock this up. I need to fit this inner primary up to my transmission casing for several reasons. One, and most importantly, is I've got a twin cam clutch that I'll be fitting to my transmission, and I've got a primary chain there. So I want to fit up those two things to the transmission and make sure we've got clearance here. So as in that photo that I just showed, I'll put up again here. I don't want any interference there. If I need to, this may need to be clearanced. Secondly, to make sure the primary chain tensioner all works as it should. Thirdly, to make sure that the starter, it's a twin cam starter, so 96 cube starter, to make sure it fits up with no issues, and we'll see how that all works out. So hopefully we shouldn't have too many problems. If we do, we may need to do some modifications here, but I'm hoping not. I don't know what happened in that photo that was online, but it seemed rather unfortunate. I hope I don't have to do that. Since my last video, I was able to locally acquire a transmission top here, local to me. So I don't know whether he'll ever watch this video, but thanks Sticks, thanks for that. So I've put a nice brass fitting in there. That's only just sitting on loosely at the moment before I button this transmission up. I want to put the sump bung in and I'll pour some oil over everything through the top of this cover. So that's just sitting on there to keep all of the, well, to stop cockroaches from nesting in there and all sorts of stuff. Things I need to remember. I need to remember to put the quad seal in over fifth gear. So I might do that now while I'm thinking of it. Other than that, we're ready to fit up this primary to this trans case. I need to get a bung for here yet, 1/2 inch UNF for the shift shaft. So I need to go into town and get one of those. Other than that, this is ready to go, this transmission. I've got a hydraulic cover coming from Boosted Brad's in the States. So, and neutral switch, shits and bits, little things. So it's pretty much ready to go. So what we'll do is now is fit up the inner primary, see how it looks. It should go straight on, mount straight up to the spigots, to the dowels without any problem. I'll put a couple of bolts in from the back side, one in the starter and one underneath the transmission to pull the primary up nice and flush and square to the transmission, pull them together. And then I'll fit up the starter to start with, and then we'll put the clutch on and the primary chain and see what we've got. All right. All right, so straight away, let me zoom in on that. Straight away with this, let me get in frame. You can see here. So I'm going to need to make up a bushing for this. So that's got the original Delkron bushing in there. I need to go and get some brass or bronze, machine that up, which will enable me to make a bushing for there for the starter. So minor job, but still something that needs to be done and considered. So we'll just bolt that jack shaft up. Next thing I want to check is the tensioner. So I've got a factory Harley tensioner here. The shoe is worn out, so that'll be getting replaced. Got a fair bit of wear on it. We've got the factory twin cam tensioner here. So what I need to make sure is this fits on here, which it doesn't. Oh, maybe just. It's quite firm in that slot there, but oh no, it goes in. So that's fine. So I'll just use this half the tensioner, and then the standard half, I won't bother putting this one in that I've got. Just keep that as a spare one. So that can run in there. It is tight, but that's fine. It'll wear in. So this can go in here, like so. And then of course the tensioner shoe will go on this way when it's ready to go. So that's good. Next thing is the clutch. Just going to reposition the camera. I'll sit down over there and do it. Sit down on the chair, be a lot more comfortable. I'll set the camera up. We'll put the clutch on the input shaft here, and we'll see how it looks. I'll give a bit more of a close-up of this as well. All right, back in a second. All right. Close up of this. This is the starter. So, bit of play there. So this clutch, I've had it as far apart as removing the plates, and that's it so far, just the fibre and steel plates. What I will be doing, let's see if I can get this to focus, down in the guts of here, there is it looks like a spiral lock circlip. It looks to be damaged. Someone's tried to dig it out at some point in time, and this washer, I don't know if that's damaged there or not, where it sits on the shaft. Let's see if I can hold that, this area just there. I need to pull them out and have a look. Additionally, I'll be pulling the clutch hub bearing out and giving it a thorough inspection. If it's okay, I may go again with it, but if it looks anywhere, if it looks like it might need or have any wear, I'll just replace it. So, what we want to do now is the moment of truth. I've got a second-hand chain here that came with the clutch. It's in really good nick. No real bad wear in it. It's a Regina chain. So again, we'll probably just go with it for now, in the interest of saving $1. We'll see. We'll see how it looks when I get it together. So I'll put the chain on, the clutch. We'll set it up, offer it up. There we go, there we go. All right. So, I haven't had a look at the back of this yet, but I'll get this nut on. Put a little bit of pressure on it. Let's do it up finger tight actually, and we'll have a look. Starter looks good. Once I get that bushing sorted out, that looks good. Where it's sitting. So that's finger tight. Put the pressure plate on. Let's put this on here just to quickly hold it all together. Don't really need to put this on, I suppose, but We'll leave it off. Oh no, actually I will. I'll put it on and save all those bloody fibre plates falling out all over the desk. So the problem area was in behind the clutch. Let's see if it spins. Hold that chain there. And that seems to spin absolutely fine. Nothing hitting on there. Let me see if I can get this camera in a bit closer. No, zoom you bastard. So, in here, there's at least 3/16, I suppose. Probably 3-4 mil clearance up the top there. So it looks fine. So I'll double check it once I pull up on the clutch hub itself, on the main nut. I'll be sure to double check it, but that looks like it's going to be fine. I mean, that hub's been pushed all the way home there. The nut's finger tight. So the nut in here is only finger tight, but I mean that's all the way home, so it can't go in any more. So, which is bloody good. So I don't know that one online, what's going on with those images that I've found. I'll zoom in. There's plenty of clearance there. That's all we want. Clearance is clearance. So that's bloody wonderful. So, things I may need to do. Obviously, no clearancing required in the back of the clutch hub itself. The starter, need to make a bushing up for here. All the seals seem fine. Inner primary bearings, brand new. I need to pull the clutch apart and have a look in here, see what we can find in there. The tension is good. So, what we might do now is dismount that clutch. Ooh, put that bit of block of wood back under there so it doesn't go for a ride. What we'll probably do now is take this clutch back off and probably press it apart and have a look. Price up a new bearing for it anyway, hopefully they're not too dear. We'll have a look. So little things I'll do while this is apart, this clutch, this main nut here, it's got sharp burrs on it and stuff. I just don't like stuff like that, you know. You put it together, I want to do it nicely, so I'll just chuck that up and knock some of these points off here with a file, just to tidy them up a bit. Little things, but while it's apart, we may as well. All right, we'll get this off here. And again, there's no marks there. I will measure that, the clearance, but yeah, it was at least 3-4 millimetres away from that surface, which is great. So maybe they changed the design. This may have been a later one. I'll have to look here. I can see sort of for the casting how deeply they've cut in here, so I'll have to compare that to the photo when I get back to the computer. They may have started to machine these a bit deeper because they had that problem, I don't know. Anyway, it looks like it's going to be all good. So tension is good, tension is fine, that looks good, and a bushing needs to be made up for here. So I did have a brass bushing here. I thought I might need one, but it's the wrong size, so I just got to duck into town and get one, so I'll have to measure this up. We'll run into town, see if they've got some brass hollow bar or some bushings or something, and I'll get on the lathe and make one of those. All right, I'll stop the camera here. I'll set it up and I'll dismantle the clutch.